I'm loving it, but don't ask me the questions like my buddy Ali, Coach Ali
Oh,
asked me
don't worry.
that.
Well, I'll fire Ollie after this. Don't worry.
I
What kind of
have
a
to ask these
question is
questions.
that?
We gotta let the
No, but
fans know.
no. Don't ask me. You're asking this question to the super fan who has spent every minute of the home game in the arena, and you're asking me that question?
Oh my God.
Apology.
Good evening, ballers and ballettes. Welcome back to Been a Minutes, Season 2.
Ding dong.
I'm Coach Anand, and I'm here with my co-host, Coach Ollie.
What's up, everyone?
And we got producer P in the house.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
And we are so glad to be back in business and can't wait to introduce our new guest. Trust me when I say this, that Season 2 is going to be a memorable one. We are definitely going to be going all out here. So kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Producer P, it's all on you now.
Yes, welcome back to Season 2, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. To piggyback off of what Coach Anand said, we are excited for Season 2. We are excited for this special guest that we have with us today. But Season 2 is going to be with a lot of firepower, a lot of amazing guests. And without any further ado, allow me to introduce you to the first guest for us in Season 2. This gentleman was born in New Delhi, India. He immigrated to Canada, to Toronto directly in 1984. He has a background in mechanical engineering, but struggled getting work when he was in Canada. So he decided to become a car salesman. And well, he did a good job there because in his first 3 months, he sold 127 cars. A few years after that, he bought that dealership, which is a Hyundai dealership just based outside of Toronto. This gentleman also founded the Superfan Foundation in 2018, which serves to bring people together of diverse backgrounds in Canada and around the world through sport. And we'll get into more of that when we have this gentleman on. After the Raptors won the championship in the 2018-2019 season, he was the first ever fan to receive an official NBA championship ring. Most recently, he was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, with that ceremony taking place just recently, May 15th of 2021. He has also attended every Raptors game over the past 25 years, and I am sure I'm forgetting a lot of different things for this fine gentleman. Please give a warm welcome, and we welcome to the show Mr. Nav Bhatia, Raptors Superfan. Mr. Bhatia, are you with us?
I am there. Is everything looking okay? Can you hear me and look at, and I'm coming on the camera okay?
We are hearing you loud and clear. We are hearing you loud and clear. So we just want to say thank you, first of all, for being on our show. We are super excited to have you. We are super excited to learn more and hear about your story. The topic for today is philanthropy, basketball, and the Raptors, the story of Nav Bhatia. So without any further ado, Coach Anand, take it away.
Okay, Mr. Bhatia, can you hear me all loud and clear?
Yes, just say super fan, or say Nav Bhatia.
Oh, super fan. All right,
Yes.
super fan. I'm just gonna ask you a couple rapid fire questions and answer them to the best of your ability. Is that okay with you?
That's fine with me.
Perfect. All right, Mr. Superfan, where are you
Yeah.
from and where did you grow up?
I'm from New Delhi, India, and I grew up in New Delhi, India.
New Delhi, India. Where did you go to school?
I went to school in New Delhi also.
New Delhi, and then did you?
And
We know
yeah, go on.
you're a basketball fan. Did you ever play basketball growing up, or was that a part of your culture growing up?
No. I'm not played. I'm only a fan of the game of basketball. If I would have played, I would be pretty fit like you guys. I'm overweight. That's why.
You're very successful, though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your journey. Tell us a little bit about Superfan. Where did this whole concept come up from? Like when you
Oh,
came
are
first
you?
Canada?
Yeah, well, I first came to Canada in 1984, and just like any immigrant, I worked first 10 years for 100 hours a week trying to get a roof over the head. And, like I'm an Indian, I'm a brown guy. Our first thing is to buy a home. And that's what I did. I mean, by 95, I had a nice home in Mississauga. I had a couple of cars and I had a good job. So when the Raptors came, I just bought 2 tickets. And I wanted to try out the game of basketball because I used to watch this game on television, and I said, well, I'm a boring guy. I don't have any hobby, so let me try with basketball. And I tried it, and I fell in love with this sports. It's the fastest sports on this planet. It's the most entertaining sports on this planet, and the way NBA has designed it, for 2.5 hours, you are in a different zone. You forget about any stresses, your family, your wife, and everybody. You forget, and you are in a different zone. So here now, from that day, November 3rd, 1995, the first game, till now, I've never missed a home game with the Raptors.
You've never missed a home game for the Raptors. That's
Rap-
amazing.
And then in 98, 99, Isaiah Thomas, our president and general manager at the time, one day pulled me out of the crowd and said, gave me a jersey and told me in front of all the fans that I'm the face of the Raptors and I'm going to be the super fan. That's how I became super fan. It's Isaiah Thomas' fault for making me the super fan.
So he's the reason where the name came from, right?
Yes, that's the reason. He's the one who gave me this designation or a title. And so here I am. I started becoming the super fan and enjoying. I was enjoying the game. I had a little attitude about myself after he named me the super fan. And then, all of a sudden on that year, something happened with me. I was going to the phone to get my Bell Mobility. I get my phone repaired, and this guy, a white guy, was sitting on the phone and talking to his wife. And as soon as he saw me, he says, "Honey, I got to go. My cab is here." And I
Oh,
looked around. There was nobody else around. I was the only one. I guess he mistook me as a cabbie. And I didn't get upset with him. That was because I'm used to a lot of speed bumps in my life. And I didn't get upset with him because it was not his fault. But it was the fault of our religious leaders and temples and Gurdwara who hadn't done enough to change the way the mainstream perceived about the Sikhs. So on
about the
that day, I
Seeks, yeah.
decided. Yeah. So on that day, I decided that I'm going to do everything and anything which I have to do in order to change the perception of the mainstream. And I went to the Raptors and bought few thousand tickets for the Bisaki Day game. I wanted to celebrate the Bisaki on the courts of the basketball, and I brought kids from all over. I mean, when
I
I say
remember hearing
all
about
over,
this.
I know that all over. I brought white kids, Jewish kids, I brought Muslim kids, Hindu kids, and Sikh kids. I wanted to do that because I wanted the kids at a young age, at 10 years to 15 years old, I wanted to have them enjoy the game together in the arena and integrate with each other, so that when they look at a young Sikh wearing a turban or a hijab or whatever, they are okay, they're cool with it. And that's what I did. And that's the reason today, if you go to a basketball game in Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, you see thousands of South Asian fans and a lot of good looking guys with turban.
No, for sure. As growing up as a young Indian male playing basketball in Canada, where basketball not really that big of a sport around here, I remember watching the Toronto Raptors, our own Go Raptors, right? I would always see a fellow Sikh man with a turban always
Yeah.
courtside. And I remember being me and I have an Indian background family. They always say, "Oh, look, there he is again every game." And it started becoming like a pattern. Every time we watch the game, we try to find you and try to point you out. And it was really inspiring to see someone being recognized, like a fellow Sikh being recognized on the court.
Yeah.
Even if you're not playing the sport, you're still putting on the for India and you're not even just doing it for India. You're trying to integrate other nationalities, other cultures, all into basketball. And we all admire that very much about you.
Well, I picked up, I did whatever. I couldn't play. Like I told you, I'm overweight. I couldn't be in the NBA or anything. I'm not that talented. You have to be the best of best in order to play in the NBA. But I did whatever I did with my mouth, with talking trash with the players when they were on the free throw thing, and talking trash with the coaches, and arguing a call with the referees. So I think picked on everybody in the league for the last 25 years. including the big ones like Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, your what you call is Shaq O'Neal, Kevin Garnett, Tim
You
Duncan,
picked
and
a
all
fight
those
with
guys.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh
You're
yeah,
trash
yeah,
talking.
yeah.
Kobe
Oh, I
Bryant's
did.
one of the.
Well, I did a lot of trash talking, but Kevin Garnett was the best one to do the trash talking because he will run to a referee and tell them, "Oh, he's drunk. You should get him off the court." But the
He
little
snitched
he
on you.
knew, the little he knew that everybody in the arena knew that I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't womanize, I only raptorize. So, but he found out
I
what
like that.
I just met him in the Hall of Fame about on the 15th of
I
May,
saw a picture.
and
Yes.
yeah, and we were together and we were talking, now he has become my buddy. So, everybody knows, all the players in the league and the coaches from the opposing team know that when for 48 minutes I'm picking on them, but before the game and after the game, they are my brothers. And I literally break bread with the people from the opposing team.
Yes. I like to have a saying when there's no friends on the court until after the game's over, right?
That's right. There is
Yeah,
no,
when you get on the
yeah,
court, your mentality is not to be buddy buddy with them. The mentality is
no.
you're gonna go after them, and after that, you could break bread.
And I don't start going on their head when the game starts. I start in the warm-ups. I start picking on them on the warm-ups. I remember
Oh,
Sam Mitchell used to play for Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, I
yeah.
think it was, no, from Minnesota. I'm sorry, for Minnesota. And he came as a player one day when he was playing, and I picked him in so much. And I said, "You should quit basketball. You have no juice left in you. You're no good anymore." And he said, what should I do? I said, "You should do coaching." He said then, and this is a true thing. He told me, "Well, get me a job as a coach." And you know what? I talked to the Raptors at that time, and Sam Mitchell became our head coach, and we talk about the
Yeah.
story all the time.
That was you?
That was
Oh my
me.
god. You got some influence in the Raptors. I'm not surprised. You're basically like our,
I just did. I mean, I've known the general managers and the presidents all along, and I just mentioned the name, and luckily he got hired. But he gave the credit to me, and I took it.
yeah, might as well, right? Take away the
Yeah, might
chance.
as well. Yes, yes, yeah.
So I gotta ask the super fan. I know you're a big fan of basketball, but is there any other sports that you are even have any interest in?
Let me tell you one thing. I
Okay.
cannot have any interest in any other game because the time I spend on the game of basketball, even with that, I miss my wife's wedding anniversaries, I miss her birthdays, and and my married life is on a very thin ice. And let me tell you, if I do any time on any other sports, I'll be divorced right away. I mean, right away.
Right away. It's
Yeah.
Canada now. I gotta ask you a question. How much, like, when you go to the Raptors game, I know in the beginning you obviously paid for tickets, but up to at this point now, do you just walk in now, or do you still pay a ticket like a normal person? Well, you're the super
I
fan,
got
so I gotta know.
Oh, no. I got to pay the tickets. I got to pay, and they're expensive tickets, man. There are thousands and thousands of
Courtside
dollars
seat
per
every
seat.
game.
Every game, every game. And wherever I go on the
Okay,
road, I get courtside seats.
I gotta ask you one thing too. How much? You might not know the answer, but roughly, how much do you think you spent your entire time being a super fan?
I think
Tickets.
I tell you one thing. If I would have not gone to the games, my home would have been free and clear of any mortgages. Right now, it has 3 mortgages on it, but I would say it's in the north of $5 million I've spent on this sports.
Wow, that's crazy. You must
It
be very
is. It
successful,
is.
but it's a
Well,
little. That's what makes you a super fan.
I'm an addict, and I owe a lot of money to the bank and on my homes and all that because I'm an addict. That's why people call me that I'm an addict, and they're right. I am an addict.
Hey, you only got one life. You might as well enjoy it, right?
Well, I worked very hard. I mean, I worked 100 hours a week for the first 20 years of my presence in Canada. And, I'm now, but let me tell you, all this has changed into good things now. Yes, basketball is like entertainment and I spend a lot of money on it. But let me tell you something. For the last 4 or 5 years, it has given me the opportunity to do the charitable work. And, now I'm trying to bring this all the people together with what's going on south of the border and in the world. I'm trying to bring the people together through this beautiful game of basketball.
Yeah. Well, super fan, I have another question. What is your favorite food? Like,
My favorite food is
I know you're born and upbringing in India, so obviously people would assume an Indian dish. But let's try it. Other than an Indian dish, what is your favorite food?
well, Mexican food is my favorite dish.
Mexican?
If
Anything
I
specific?
go to I eat enchilada, vegetarian enchiladas with beans and rice and lot of hot salsa. And before I
Hot
start the meal,
salsa,
I want the freshly made those chips with the hot salsa. I love the hotness and the
the
spiciness
tortillas.
of Mexican food, you know. And I go to sometime when I go to Washington to watch the games, and my breakfast is Mexican, my lunch is Mexican, and my dinner is Mexican. I love Mexican food.
No, you know
Same
what's
thing,
funny?
same.
Mexican food is very similar to Indian food.
No, no, no.
They
There is
got
a difference. There are different spices and a different flair, different flavor.
they got I guess, yeah. I'm just thinking they have like tortillas, we got rotis, they got spice, we got spice. They love
Yeah,
chicken, we love chicken.
yeah, but there are different kind of spices, and ours are different kind of
Different type of
spices.
spice.
You know. Yes, yes, yeah. I
True.
love, so Mexican food.
All right. What's one thing that not many people know about you? Like something we can't look up about you. Like what's
Well, I'm opening people. I think I'm an open book for the. I'm the open book the longest time, and everybody knows everything about me.
you're an open book. That's
I'm an
that's
open
good though.
book.
That's good. No secrets. Yeah,
No,
you
there's
got
no
nothing to
secret
hide.
in
I
my
love
life.
that.
No, no secret in my life.
Especially being a super fan, everything is public. You're an icon.
Everything is public. Everything is
Um,
public. I don't have any, like I said already, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't womanize, I only raptorize, and that's what it is. But I'm
I
an
need to
addict
get
of
that.
basketball.
I need to get that quote written somewhere, like on a t-shirt. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah, I
womanize.
do. Yes, sir. It's on my t-shirts. Yes.
I love it. Well, Superfan, thank you very much. That's the end of my questions for today. It's been an honor talking to you. This is a great experience for me, and we appreciate you representing the Six.
Well, thank you very much, and it's an honor to represent them. And we had some good time during this journey for the last 25 years, especially in 29 when we became the champions of the NBA.
Yes, sir. Um, okay, now my co-host Coach Ollie, he has some questions for you. But this is all for me. Thank you very much, Superfan.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Hey, Mr. Bhatia, how are you?
I'm very good.
Coach Ollie here. I've got some questions for you. So same as Coach Nan, the rapid fire. So I'm gonna just shoot away.
Go ahead.
Have you traveled much? And if so, where's been your best or most favorite trip and why?
I've traveled a lot of arenas with this basketball. I've traveled to a lot of states. But my best trip, I would say, was the trip in 2019, going to Golden State to and fro a couple of times and playing some games in front of the Golden State fans and being there and loving it there. I got so much love and respect from all the fans. Even they are cheering on. They were wearing Steph Curry jerseys. They were wearing Green jersey and all that, but they gave me so much love and respect, and gave me free coffees, free food, and invited me to their homes to stay with them. So that was the
Wow,
most amazing trip.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm a Golden State Warriors fan myself.
Very
Um,
good. They're a good people, very
yeah,
classy people there, man. Very classy people.
we love them. So besides like for the NBA, do you think you've traveled somewhere else, like in the off season, maybe like on your own time for vacation or something?
I'm not a big traveler, otherwise, other than the NBA. I'm not a big traveler. Yes,
Yeah,
I go to New York with my family a couple of times with my wife and my daughter because they love it there. But again, I don't individually just go on a trip. I never had any particular trips going for just for vacation or holidays. It's always through basketball.
true, true. Yeah, I get that. Next question. If you were stranded on a deserted island, what are the three things that Superfan needs to have with
Well, is it in the season or is in the first of all in the if it's in the season and the Raptors are playing, I'm not going to be there.
um, let's say off season, off season.
Off season. Well, I guess I will love to, have my family with me. I love to sort of, just have my family around me. That's all. Because I miss a lot of the quality time when I'm with the basketball season. And I think I would like to have my wife and my daughter with me,
Yeah,
and maybe some Mexican food in there.
yeah. Spend some quality time with the family,
Yeah, yeah, I would do that on an
of
island.
course.
Yes.
Do you prefer sweet foods or savory foods?
I prefer any food. I love food. That's why I am overweight because I love food.
You're a foodie. I love
Yeah,
that.
I'm foodie. I'm foodie. Yes, you can say that I'm foodie.
What's your all-time favorite basketball moment?
My favorite basketball moment has to be when we won the championship in Oakland, And there can be another one also, the Philadelphia game, the seventh game, when the
Oh yeah,
ball went four times. But
Kawhi.
I think yeah, the Kawhi moment, and it's the four. But it was the championship after we won the in Oakland in the Oracle Arena, the last game for
Absolutely.
Oracle Arena.
That
That was my
that
best
was
moment in the basketball. Yes. Well,
uh I think this next question is pretty obvious, but favorite NBA team.
say that what again? Please
Favorite
say that. What?
NBA team.
My favorite NBA team is Raptors. What kind of a question is that? Coach, come on, I mean,
I
what kind of
have
a
to ask these
question is
questions.
that?
We gotta let
No,
the
but
fans know.
no. Don't ask me. You're asking this question to the super fan who has spent every minute of the home game in the arena. And you're asking me that question?
Oh my God.
Apologies, apologies. Um, do
I
you
mean, if
watch
I
the
were
NCAA?
if I were a referee, I will eject you right now.
I'm Draymond Green. Draymond Green.
Yeah, amazing guy. I love that. I love that player. I picked on him. I told him when they lost to Cleveland Cavaliers. I told him that it's because of you they lost the game. They lost the championship the year they lost to Cleveland. That's what he does. He picks fights. He has to be calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, a
I
little bit.
always tell him to be calmed down.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
agree
but
with
he's
that.
an amazing player though.
So, do you watch the NCAA at all? Like, do you have a favorite
Yeah,
team with them?
yeah, very little bit. Yeah, my NCA is North Carolina, Kentucky, and Duke.
Oh, the Blue
Those are
Bloods.
my
Yeah.
yeah, the Duke. They're my favorite team. Yes.
What's your favorite type of music and why?
Well, I like to hear my Indian music, which is a Bollywood music, because I'm brought up in that, and that's the
Mhm.
music I have, listened for last 60 years, 50, 60
Wow.
years. So,
Yeah,
it's hard for me to change now.
absolutely. Yeah. What's your all-time favorite basketball movie, if you have one?
As it will was what was that slam Space Jam?
Space Jam?
Yes, sir.
Are you watching? You're gonna watch the Space Jam 2 with LeBron?
Of course I will.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna watch that too. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
every basketball fan is gonna watch that movie.
yeah.
So that's all for me. With the rapid fire questions. Thank you so much. It was an honor
Thank you
asking
very
you all
much.
these questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Superfan. That was amazing. We're just going to take a quick commercial break, and on the backside of that commercial break, we'll get into the topic of today, which again is philanthropy, the Raptors, and basketball. The story of Superfan Nav Bhatia. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give us a second. We'll be right back.
This podcast episode is brought to you by Form Basketball Academy, located in Vancouver, BC. Form Basketball Academy offers multifaceted programs, including one-on-one private training and film study, with NCCP nationally certified coaches. To find out more information about this and other program or league opportunities, check them out at formbasketball.com. Form Basketball Academy. Become your best with us.
All right, welcome back, folks. Today we're joined by the one and only super fan of the Raptors, Mr. Nav Bhatia. Super fan, you still with us?
Thank you. Yes, I am. Of course, I'm not going
He's
anywhere till you get me out.
well,
I'm
man,
I'm
keep.
I'm loving it, but don't ask me the questions like my buddy Ali, Coach Ali
Oh,
asked me.
don't worry. Well, I'll fire Ollie after this. Don't worry.
No,
Uh,
don't fire him. Just suspend him for a game.
Suspended for a game. All right. Suspend and fine them. Done. We wanted to get into the topic of today. And that topic again today is philanthropy, basketball, and the Raptors. I mean, just hearing a bit about your story is inspiring for me. I too am an immigrant to this country. My dad, I was born in Nigeria. My father was Nigerian, and my mom is British and Jamaican. So, growing up in Canada and adopting Canada as home, again, what we said at the top of the show was, our audience and our listeners are basketball players, are people of grassroots and, parents. And so with someone like you with philanthropy and, all the hard work that you've done, we just want to get into that and delve more into that. So I know that Coach Anand prepared a question for you with this. So Coach Anand, take it away.
Hey, Superfan, how's it going? How's
I'm
the
good.
podcast
Good, all
going so
good.
well so far?
Very good. Enjoying it.
Glad to hear it. All right, I had a question about philanthropy to you. What does philanthropy mean to you, and why is it important to you and to the game of basketball?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you that everything which has been given to me, which I own today, it's thanks to Canada and the God Almighty and of course, my Hyundai dealerships, which I've been working with last 36 years. But it's
Yeah.
the God's blessing the most, And like I said, I have more than what I deserve. God has been very good and kind to me. And I little by little, some of the things, but in the last 4 years, we have started doing it in a bigger way because we opened up a foundation and now we are doing it on a bigger scale. And hopefully in the next couple of years, we want to do over 1 million every year in the charitable work and donate it to the various people. So that's what we want to do. And it's so important to me because God has given us and we got to share with the people who don't. And that's why my charity, my foundation does two things. First, we work with a Christian organization. Being a non-Christian, I'm the only global ambassador for World Vision, one of the most respected Christian organization. I have worked with him in building washrooms for girls so that the girls can continue their education in the school. These are in the poorest of area where the girls drop out of the school at the age of 11 when their period starts because there is no washrooms there. So we have built, and now with God's grace, we built 135 washrooms in 35 schools, and thousands of girls are continuing their education. We are going to announce another project in the next couple of months where we are going to do bigger than this. We are going to announce 200 washrooms in 50 schools and, going to help the girls there to go to school because right now the dropout there is like almost 80-90% because the girls don't go to school and after the age of 11. And the second thing what we are doing is that giving away building basketball in the tough neighborhood. We are building 4 basketball courts in Malton in the next month or so that the kids can play basketball there and stay away from drugs and gangs and guns and all that. So this is what we are doing. These are the two things where we are focusing, and we are going to continue doing that. And nobody is taking anything with them, any money. So it's better to give it away here while you're alive, continue giving. And I want to tell you, I found one thing in giving. There is more satisfaction in giving than taking.
Yeah, that is so true. Do you find so you love doing a lot of charity work, you love giving to the people. Do you find it has anything to do with your upbringing, like seva, give as a religion?
Yes, and Sikhs are known to be giving.
Yes.
Our faith teaches us that. I don't know if you guys know on this. All the coaches, that we have a free. We are the only temples in the world where you go. Anywhere in the world you go and you will get a 3 times of free vegetarian meal. Doesn't matter if you are a Hindu, you are a Sikh, Nigerian, Chinese, Pakistani, Indian. We don't ask in our temples.
Yes.
And now, if you know that lately when India was going through some COVID problem with the oxygen and all that, Sikhs started the free oxygen on the street, helping out anybody who needs an oxygen. They were giving that. So I'm very proud to be a Sikh. And yes, our faith believes in giving and helping anybody without, you don't have to be seek to get the help. We don't, we don't ask
We actually
anything.
encourage
It's
it. Yeah.
irrespective. Yeah, we are irrespective of anything. In the during the COVID, we were in New York. We were giving away 100,000 meals every day in California, in Dallas, in Houston, everywhere, and also us in Toronto. I bought a food truck, and what I did is with my associates and people, what we did was in the food truck we distributed 15,000 hot meals during the COVID. So
Wow.
it's an amazing feeling, and the love you get back from it, and the satisfaction is amazing.
You see the smiles on the kids' faces and the people who are hungry and they need it more. It's an
Yes,
awesome feeling. You can't describe it. You can't get that feeling any other way.
any other way. Yes, sir. Rightly
Yeah,
said.
I love that. Coach Ollie also has another question for you right now. Coach Ollie, you want to shoot your
Yep.
shot?
Adding a note there, what you did with the philanthropy stuff is really amazing. So thank you for that. How did you get involved with the Raptors? I know you mentioned it earlier, but can you go a little bit more in depth with it?
Well, with the Raptors, I became the season holder ticket on November 3rd, 1995, the very first game, and I fell in love with this game. This game is the most exciting, most entertaining, and the fastest game on this planet. And from the very first day, I fell in love, and till now, I've never missed a home game. And the Raptors found out, and then I was made the super fan in 98, 99 season. And I got involved with the Raptors in everything what they do, and wherever they need me, I'm there. And I'm kudos to Raptors for being so inclusive, and they're giving me the opportunity to bring kids from various faiths and religions to our Besaki Day game every year. Kudos to Raptors for working with it. I think they deserve that. They are the most inclusive corporation in Canada.
Absolutely, for sure. So to you, what does it mean being a super fan?
To me, it means that it gives me more duty, more responsibility to make sure I'm helping the kids. I'm reaching out to everybody. And as a super fan, now with the games, when the games were before COVID, I used to take my ring and I used to take picture with a lot of kids. And my duty is to inspire them. I feel like inspiring them. I used to take a picture with them, so that giving them with the rights, the bragging rights the next day in the school. Every year I do 5,000 basketballs, which I distribute with the kids, because kids are our future. Kids are the future of this world, of this humanity, and we
Yeah,
got to take care of them. We got to inspire them.
you're also like now you're also kind of like a representative. You represent the Raptors because you're a basketball icon now.
Well,
Hey,
I'm blessed, and you know what? That comes with more responsibility again.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
for sure. We've got a couple more questions for you, Coach Shannon. Go ahead.
yeah, super fan. So we have already talked about your NBA journey. But you were mentioning a little bit of like how you trash talk some of the great players out there. Can you give us like a memorable moment that you have from being around in the NBA, like, or being around near these players, like something a funny story that is not up online, like something that
oh,
like a good one, like a
well,
juicy one.
well, Shaq always used to call me that, oh, you Taliban, and in the old age, in the old time, he used to call me Taliban, and I told him one day, I said, you call me Taliban again, I'm going to tell the world that you finance us. And after that, he has never called me Taliban.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
No, you are a brave man to stand up to Shaq.
Oh
How
yeah, he's
tall?
my brother.
You
Shaq
stand
is
you stand up next to him,
Shaq
right?
is. Oh, I hugged him. I mean, he's an amazing guy. Let me tell you one thing. Shaq is
Yes.
a very good human being inside. He's a guy who will come to play in Toronto, and at 1 o'clock at night he'll go to McDonald's and buy 400 burgers and distribute on all the people on the side on the street. That's what he does.
He's very charitable, also, just like yourself.
Very charitable.
No,
He's an amazing. No, no, no. He's an amazing guy. But yes, he has been a very legend of the game of basketball. And yes, he's a very scary looking, but deep inside, he's a very good human being.
The big friendly giant.
Yes.
That's crazy. Well, that's something you don't hear every day. You can't look those stories up.
No,
Coach
no,
Ali, you have no,
no.
yeah, those are like those are stuff you'll take with like these are little
Yeah.
secrets. You can't make that you
Yeah.
can't write that up. Coach
Yes.
Ali, you got another question?
Yeah. Superfan, how did you hear, like, what were you doing when you heard that you were inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame? What does it mean to
Well,
you?
well, it was February 10th, 2020, when my manager came to me and told me, my PR manager, Rinku guy, came to me and said, "Hey, you're going to be a Hall of Famer." And I said, "Get away." I thought he was making fun of me. He was pulling my leg and all that. But
Yeah.
Lord behold, it was true. And they were going to do this ceremony last year in September 20. But because of COVID, they kept on postponing it. And it happened just now on May the 15th this year.
And what is like, because you're the first fan being inducted
Yes,
into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What does
yes,
this mean
I
to
am.
you?
Well, it is still sinking in me. I cannot still digest it. I was 3 hours, I was in the Hall of Fame, and I was pinching myself all the time because this is something which doesn't happen to the fans. I mean,
Yeah.
it can happen to the players. A fan cannot dream of being the grand marshal of the biggest parade, which Toronto had, and I was the grand marshal. A fan cannot dream to have the players $80,000 ring, which the Raptors decided to give me first time in the history of any sports, a non-player getting a same ring like Kyle and Kawhi and everybody else. So, and then the Hall of Fame is to top of everything. I mean, there was a guy from ESPN. He said, "Now to get all this, it's a billion to one shot. Somebody can do it again." So here I am, thankful to the Almighty, thanks to the fans, and I'm taking not just the Raptors fans with me in the Hall of Fame. I'm taking all the fans who are going with me to the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Um, that's it for these questions. Thank you so much for answering them. It's been an
Thank
honor
you.
to ask you these questions.
Thank you
Coach,
very much.
yeah,
It's been an honor to be in the presence of a super fan.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on. And guys, keep on doing the good job you're doing. We need people like you. We need format like you. We need academies like you so that we can get the best out of the guys themselves, if they want to be the best of themselves. And, Vince Carter did a lot of this thing through his Vince Carter Academy when he was a player here. And, for he every year, I used to partner with him. I was a part of it also myself. We will be bringing 600 people to the camps and doing 5-day training from morning till evening. And I think that's the reason that we have today over 20 excellent NBA ballers in the NBA, Canadians, I mean, ballers.
yeah,
And like Tristan Thompson, like Corey Joseph, like Kelly, and Wiggins, Jamal Murray, and Dylan Brooks. How about that kid in Memphis, man? He's tearing
He's
it
good.
apart.
he's
He's
RJ
crazy.
Barrett.
he's
RJ Barrett, yeah,
so RJ Barrett, my boy, I know him since he was a little boy in the diapers. So, all these guys, I'm just, you continue doing the job. We have to make sure in the next 10 years, this beautiful game of basketball becomes the national game of Canada.
I like that. I like that idea very much.
For sure. Superfan, before we let you go, we mentioned that we're about grassroots. So a lot of youth are listening to this and probably with their parents and they're tuning in. If there was one or two things you can say to the boys and girls listening to this in relation to basketball and working hard and achieving your goals, what would that be? What would the Superfan say to them?
Well, what I would say is, guys, be passionate about what you do. Basketball is a beautiful game. Get involved in it. Everybody get involved in it. It will give you a lot of fun. It might not make you to put you in a WNBA or NBA, but it gives you the discipline to be a good citizen in your other things. And, also make sure you listen to your parents. Your parents sacrifice a lot. Listen to your coaches, listen to your teachers, and you know what, be respectful to each other. Champions are only made when we played as a team. Raptors won the championship because of a solid team with the solid coaches, with the solid fans. So it's a team work, and make sure if you see somebody who is down, pick him or her up without any condition, and don't let anybody bully anybody. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to do that, and it will give you happiness and satisfaction inside. And in the end, a lot of people ask me, what is the key of your success? Guys, there is no rocket science to it. Treat people like you want to be treated yourself, and success will come running.
Well, there
Thank
you
you,
have
guys.
it. There you have it. You heard it from the superfan himself. The keys to success is just simply respect and working hard and, trying to be a world-class citizen. Superfan, we want to, again, thank you for being on our show. Been a minute. We are super honored. I know that my staff they've been jumping off the walls, texting me all week. We can't wait to be on the Superfan. I know for me,
I thought he was pranking me. I didn't think it was real.
Same.
I
Oh,
know for me it's been an honor. Like I said,
coaches, thank you. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
I've been to Raptors games. I've seen you. I've been around. I've been probably to, I'd say probably about 110 Raptors games, and this has been amazing for us. We're gonna cut to a commercial break. On the other side of that, we'll continue on the show.
Thank you.
This podcast episode is brought to you by Form Basketball Academy, located in Vancouver, BC. Form Basketball Academy offers multifaceted programs, including one-on-one private training and film study, with NCCP nationally certified coaches. To find out more information about this and other program or league opportunities, check them out at formbasketball.com. Form Basketball Academy. Become your best with us.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Been a Minute Season 2. We just said goodbye to Raptors Superfan, Mr. Nav Bhatia. I know for myself personally, Producer P is I'm beyond honored to have had Superfan on our show. Superfan, you're listening to this, thank you again. We appreciate it. We loved every minute of it, and we hope that those of you that are listening to this really take stock of what he said, and the journey that he started in India, ended up in Canada. Gents, Coach Ali, what were your thoughts about having Superfan on our show?
I mean, I still can't believe I talked to him. Like, that's crazy. Like I told, like when we met earlier, I told him that I've seen him, I think it was about 4 years ago, back when I was in grade 9. He came to Vancouver for the exhibition game against the Warriors, and I saw him, and I actually saw him walking down the street to the arena, and it was just like everyone knew who he was. At that time, I sort of knew who he was, but later on I found out that he's a basketball icon, and he's well known for representing the Raptors, being there at every game. And besides like the basketball perspective, he's done a lot. He explained earlier while he was on the show that he's done a lot to help kids from like poorer communities and bring them and like kind of instill basketball into their life to save them from like what he said, like gangs, drugs, like the streets basically. And that's really impressive, and I congratulate him for that.
Yeah, for sure. Coach Anand, your thoughts?
Yeah, as a Sikh, and he's a Sikh, it's like, whenever you see that brown guy on the TV, even if he's just like in the corner, you always like, oh, look, there's a brown guy. He is as brown as it gets. He has a turban, he has the accent, he has a beard, and like it's really cool to see how he's like well known. Like there's other famous Indian actors out there, but they don't have that whole actual authentic Indian look because they want to be mainstream. He stayed true to himself, and that's what I really admire about him. And he just he just did himself. Like he just did his own thing, and it just shows what hard work and dedication. If you stay true to your passion, work can get you. It was crazy seeing him. Like Coach Paul already said, I was texting him all week. I was like, no way, he's actually you're messing with us. He's not coming. You're lying. But I don't know. When I saw him, I kind of froze, and it was crazy.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, for us, with our academy team, both on the girls and boys side, this spring and summer, our motto has been hashtag nothing given, hashtag everything earned. And with Superfan, that embodies what we stand for. He literally earned everything, and every situation that he's been put in, he has been just through his hard work and his dedication. So, we salute him, and as Coach Ali said, we congratulate him on a job well done, and also congratulate him on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Fellas, like, can we talk about that for a second?
A fan being in the Hall of Fame, that's never happened. It's something like you wouldn't even think it would be an option. Like, I bet you, whenever he started going to these games, he would never have thought, I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame every day if I just come to these games every day. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. That happened really recently too.
Yeah, and
earlier this month.
Yeah, and you got a ring out of it. I for the viewers who are just listening, you can't really see, but in the video, he's fully decked out in his.
it was blinging at the camera.
It was shining
huge.
bright like a diamond because it was massive. It was like the size of
like a small rock.
Like a small rock on his hand.
It wasn't a pebble. It was a pretty small, like decent sized rock. It was pretty big.
Yeah, I don't know. He's blinged out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, sorry, I should correct myself. That induction ceremony was May 15th, 2021. Coach Ali, other than his blinged out rock, what's
blinged out rock the diamond.
What are your thoughts about him being in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, like everyone else that's already in the Hall of Fame, they're considered like legends, like Yao Ming, Shaq, Kevin Garnett. These guys are living legends in the NBA, and that makes Superfan himself also a legend. And yeah, that's just crazy how like a fan, like you must have like done like something extremely different from all the other fans. Otherwise, like people who show up to every other like Mavs game or like I don't know, Milwaukee game, they don't have the passion and the strength as Superfan does, and that's why he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is really crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before we continue on with the show, we get to the possession 24. Just wanted to piggyback on a story that he told about Kevin Garnett. So this story goes back to when Garnett was playing with the Celtics. And as you guys know, there's the drill called the machine gun drill. So for our listeners, the machine gun drill is the following. You have a player underneath the net, and they do busy feet or machine gun feet. So rapid fire, there's da-da-da-da-da, right? Then you have three people on the perimeter, one on each wing and one at the top. Basically what happens is a coach will throw the ball or pass the ball to one of the players who are on the perimeter, and that player doing the machine gun must close out. They must close out, and depending on how your coach wants it, whether they allow you to touch the ball first before it's live, or you close out and it's live. Regardless, point is you have to get a stop. You get 3 stops, you get out of the hole. If you don't get out of the hole, which means that the offense player scores, you still play defense. So Kevin Garnett needs that year. He has him, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo. They had a solid squad. Nonetheless, they do this drill. Kevin Garnett gets his 3 stops. Doc Rivers says, all right, Kevin, next guy up. Kevin Garnett, with a few expletives, says, nope, F that, coach. Let's keep going. I'm going to stop this whole team. He stopped his entire team. Nobody scored on him. So Doc Rivers says, okay, you stopped the whole team. Let's get the next guy in. Kevin Garnett says, nope, F that, coach. I'm going to stop all these mofos again. And he stopped them twice. So 30 straight stops. Not a single person scored on Kevin Garnett. So, and he's also known as one of the guys in the league to be when he was in the league, to be one of the best trash talkers. So when Superfan is trash talking with or about Kevin Garnett and Kevin Garnett is getting shook, you know you're doing a good job. We salute you, Superfan. We salute you. Gentlemen, possession 24. You each get 24 seconds. Coach Anand, 24 seconds. First question.
Let's hear it. Yep.
One of our defensive DNAs as an academy is to protect elbows, blocks, and nail. Can you explain to our listeners what this means and why this is important?
Well, protecting the elbows, you never want to get the ball handler to penetrate down the middle. Same, you always want to push him to the side, give him a harder angle to make a basket, and push him towards the help defense. Basically, same for the blocks. You don't want him to crash into the middle because then he can do the ball handler can pass the ball to the big in the center, go for easy layup. You always want to push the ball out the middle. Never want the ball to penetrate inside.
Like we say, protect this house. All
right. Protect this house.
And in this situation, we mean the house to be the key. Coach Ali.
Yep.
On the flip side of things, one of our offensive DNAs at the academy is 0.5 advantages. For those that are listening, give them a rundown of what that means and why it's important.
Well, the 0.5 advantage is kind of like the little things that you do in your movements, such as like if you're going off a dribble handoff, you're like cutting right off that pick, or you're shooting, your pump faking is a little bit faster, or your jab is a little faster. It's like these little movements that make you have a better advantage past the defense, and that's where that 0.5 is actually stands for 0.5 second, and you get the 0.5 second advantage to move or shoot or pass the ball or whatever you want to do on offense.
Yeah, to make a decision, read and react. Read and react. Well, folks, that's it for us today. Once again, earlier we had Superfan, Raptors Superfan Nav Bhatia on the show. Thanks again, Superfan, for being on the show. With the restrictions being loosened, we are looking to play some games, looking here mid-June and on. So Forum Basketball Academy, if all things go well, we'll be hosting a U17, U18 boys tournament up at UBC. If you are a coach listening to this and you are a local coach, so anyone in the Lower Mainland, and you want to be part of this tournament, please shoot us an email to coaches@formbasketball.com. Once again, that's coaches@formbasketball.com. Conversely, you can also hit us up on our socials. You can find us on Instagram at f.o.r.m._basketball, or hit us up on Twitter at formbasketball. Our website, lastly, is www.formbasketball.com. That's it for us today. I know that Coach Anand is going to send us home with Coach Ali. So one of you fine gentlemen, send us on out of here.
All right, that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning into Been a Minute. This is our second season, our first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next one. We got bangers every week. Peace.
Peace.